This video is what an American thinks about Norway. Um, was in Norway, I don't know, 3 weeks or something like that. Pretty long time for how expensive the place is. I rode my bike up through Finland, and I entered Norway on the northern tip of Finland, and then I went to Vadsø. This is a bike touring. Went to Vadsø. Was there a day or two, and then I rode back to Cartagena, and then I took the bus up to the northern tip of Finland, Norway, and then down along the western edge of the fjords, buses and trains all the way down to Trondheim, and then on a bike from Trondheim to Stockholm. And I hung out in Trondheim for a week and a half in the August of 2010. Um, I think Norwegians are like my favorite people that I've met. I met a lot of Norwegians traveling. One grumpy one in Chile, my ex-wife's like boyfriend. Um, I got some water leaking from my bottle. I'm gonna have to look at that. But yeah, um, yeah, they're fun to travel with. Lots of personality, lots of, really smart, just like Americans. Perfect English. Um, it's funny, when I went to Vadsø, I was hanging out with these Norwegian guys from Vadsø, and one of them, he said he was part Sami in Athens, and when I was talking to this guy in Vadsø, he was talking exactly like the guy who was talked in Athens. But yeah, really, really helpful. This guy in the hotel was where I had a shower. He was like looking through the internet and then helping do like research for me for buses, and all the other people. Just, yeah, really friendly and really helpful there. Oh yeah, and they gave me a free, and generous too. They gave me a free guy let me in the movie for free up in the northern tip. Guy wanted to buy me a beer and wanted to buy me another beer up in some other town where I walked into some bar, just because I'm some American bike tourist. Um, and and yeah, and it's a beautiful country. The northern part of Norway, the fjords up on the northwestern part, is like the most beautiful place I've ever been because it has everything. It has all the water. It has all these like really steep mountains, glaciers, totally green, mist, fog, um, steep roads, perfectly well kept roads, beautiful houses, painted houses along, but not too populated, not perfectly populated. Like if you wanted a bike tour, you'd be able to find a store ever so often, but there's not traffic. People who live up there have tons of space. Yeah, it's very beautiful up there. And then in the Sami place in the flats, that's pretty as well. Yeah, you could like in the northern part, not in the northwestern part, but the northern part. You could see how like the glaciers a long time ago had like carved these big divots in the land with these big cliffs around, and beautiful. Um, and they have the whole Sami culture, which is cool, with their teepees and their all that. Teepees look just like the Native American ones, but they also have this thing called the something or other, which is like a synthetic teepee. You can pack pretty small. That's really big. It's pretty cool. But yeah, and then I was in Trondheim for a week and a half and hung out with my American friend who's married to a Norwegian. And yeah, she spoke perfect English. And yeah, Norwegians, well, I don't know if Norwegians in general, but, well, the general idea about Norwegians is they're really good skiers and good athletes. And that's kind of like um, my idea of them. Because when I was like walking around Trondheim in Norway, lots of what I remember is just lots of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people who look like your typical English blonde-haired, blue-eyed person. Different from Finns. Finns kind of have like, well, actually, Norwegian told me this rounder face. They kind of look more, I guess, Eskimo. And I think I mean, beautiful. But yeah, the Norwegians are blonde, probably the blondest I've ever seen. Um, and they, but yeah, athletic. I was in Trondheim and like, with staying with my buddy. He was a Scandinavian master cycling champion while I was with him, staying there. And then his wife like won $485 one weekend, then $1,300 the next weekend, and running races. And they're in this like neighborhood and like all of their friends were like world champions. Like this guy came over the house and I was showing him my bike and stuff, and they're friends, and he was world champion at combined, which is skiing and ski jumping, Nordic skiing and ski jumping. And he's doing chat with some girl who was like third in the Olympics in the giant slalom, and then some other guy who's gold in like the slalom, and they're all like neighbors and stuff. And I mean, like in Trondheim, they have like 200 kilometers of lit, groomed ski trails that start like 100 meters behind my buddy's house in the winter. I mean, I grew up in Boulder, and we had like I don't know how many miles of lit groomed ski trails in Eldora, and it's not 200 kilometers. I mean, and I thought Eldora was cool. I mean, they've got it going on. They've got money, so I guess with money they can do all that cool stuff. It's pretty amazing. They do have money, and the exchange rate's insane. It's like 16.7 kroners to the dollar, whatever. And it's like 90 kroners for a beer. It's like $15 for a beer. I got at like a bar. It's $20 for a 6 pack of beer at a supermarket. I got a Happy Meal at McDonald's, including a coffee, for $15. Well, not a Happy Meal, a Big Mac meal. Fucking insanely expensive. I spent so much money there. I spent $400 just to take for a couple of days, taking buses and train down from Kautokeino to, Karasjok to Trondheim along the fjords, going north first. But extremely athletic. When I went on a bicycle ride with my friend, like a 2 hour long bicycle ride over these nice hills and stuff around Trondheim, which is the third largest city in Norway, about a third of the way up. And we saw cyclists everywhere. Well, we did go through the side of the district time trial championships, so there was all these like guys on time trial bikes and stuff riding around. But on the other roads, you'd see all these other bikes and stuff, and I saw hundreds of bike racers, in full regalia. Zero females. And I know some people are like, "Oh yeah, man!" Like I saw on YouTube some chick is like, "Yeah, man, so much more competitive. Like so many more elite, strong chicks in Europe biking." Not Norway, even though Norway's are bad. Norwegians are badass. I guess Norwegians are into running. I guess because I guess the girl that my buddy's wife got fifth to the girl who was fifth in the world. So I guess they can run. But I mean, like my friend's wife, she was national time trial champion, and she wasn't even a bike racer. Like she doesn't even have a bike. It's like dismantled in the basement. So I don't know. They must, but they're fit. They look fit, so they must just do other sports. But the guys are into biking. You have good bikers there. Thor Hushovd was like 4-time green jersey winner in Tour de France or something. But yeah, really fit looking people. And they have a lot of money. But I heard my brother said that because he stayed with some old Norwegian guy, that they used to not have money. Like they used to be really frugal and have to eat oatmeal and stuff. And then like 30 years ago, they discovered all this oil off the coast of the ocean. So now they're drilling all this oil, and that's why they're loaded. I don't know, but they seem really smart to me. So they're also loaded from. They also do fishing. They fish a lot, I heard. But anyways. Really friendly people. I mean, I saw these three like 17-year-old kids who were like fascinated with me, hanging out with me for 3 hours from like 4 in the morning till 7 in the morning in some parking lot, like talking. They love to talk. They're great personality. Um, and they love to see travelers there. And they know how expensive it is. They're always mentioning how expensive it is. I even have jokes. This is one Norwegian I was saying, I had all these jokes, like, why does a tourist need a ladder when they come to Norway so that they can pay the high prices or something like that? I don't know. And he said another funny joke too. What do you do with a pussy after you fuck it? Put it back in the stroller. um, but yeah, I heard Oslo isn't a beautiful city, so maybe Norway. And Norway wasn't part of the Swedish Empire. So I don't know, maybe my impression of Norwegians is just these like crazy, like badass, like savage skiing mountain people, who didn't have a culture until recently because Oslo isn't big and they weren't part of the Norway. They're just on the other side. It's like, I don't know. But yeah, Norway was cool. Okay, so that's that.